Deputy Vice Chancellor, it is both a privilege and a pleasure to present Rosie Moriarty Simmonds, OBE, for the award of an Honorary Fellowship. Rosie describes herself as a disabled businesswoman and equality campaigner. Although this is certainly an accurate description, it hardly does justice to the range of her business successes and the extent and power of her campaigning. Rosie graduated from this university in 1985 with an honours degree in psychology. After 7 years of working in the civil service, she left to set up the RMS Disability Issues Consultancy in 1995. Her ambition, even at that early stage, was to deliver real and lasting change in the field of disability equality. Rosie has a reputation as a forthright and passionate speaker. She has worked at the highest level in both the public and private sectors to help bring about significant changes in attitudes to disability. Rosie challenges misconceptions about disability by talking about adversity, certainly, but also about turning adversity into an opportunity. Nowhere is her passion more evident than in her autobiography, 4 Fingers and 13 Toes, published in 2007. The book charts Rosie's inspirational life, overcoming the injuries to her physical being as a result of her mother being prescribed thalidomide. The book also details the factual journey of the drug thalidomide from its early manufacture in Nazi Germany to the present day. One review describes the book as an essential read that will make you laugh, cry, be angry, and proud with every turn of the page. A prolific volunteer and charity worker, Rosie is currently a trustee of the National Theatre Wales and patron of the inclusive Flamingo Chicks Dance School. She is also developing her artistic skills with the internationally renowned mouth and foot painting artists, and having seen some of her work, I can testify to her obvious talent in this area too. As a graduate of the university, Rosie has proved herself to be a great friend of the university. She has given guest lectures and many inspirational talks to a number of student societies. In 2015, Rosie gave a wonderful talk at the University Disability History Month event and took part in the Inspired By program. Rosie and her husband Stephen, with others, were central to the establishment of the Thalidomide Memorial, which was sited in Alexandra Gardens in June 2016. The purpose of that memorial is to, and I quote, "Honor those persons, their families and others who have been and continue to be affected by the thalidomide tragedy, and to ensure that the thalidomide story is not lost in some dusty history book." In recognition of her services to the equality and rights of disabled people, Rosie was awarded an OBE in 2015. Deputy Vice Chancellor, the phrase an inspiration and a role model is one that can often be overused, but for Rosie it is indeed a truly fitting accolade. And we hope that in awarding Rosie an Honorary Fellowship of the University, we can both recognise her immense achievements and that we continue to benefit from her inspirational guidance and support for many years to come. Anrhydeddus dir Prwys Ganghellor, cyflwyna fi ti, Rosie Moriarty Simmonds, fel camrawd anrhydedd Prifysgol Cardiff.
very much for that spontaneous standing ovation. This means so much to Rosie. But please, will you let me confer her with her degree? And Rosie will say a few words to you afterwards as well. And so you'll have another chance to appreciate her talents. Rosie. Trwy'r awdurdod a roddwyd I mi gan y cyngor, derbynnu a chwi fel cymrad anrhydedd Prifysgol Cardydd. Congratulations.
Pro-Chancellor, Deputy Vice Chancellor, University Orator, academic and professional services staff, graduates, family and friends. I am delighted to be able to address you today, some 32 years after I received my degree, when most of you were probably not even a twinkle in your parents' eyes. And so my first duty is to congratulate you all on completing your studies, and I hope that, like me, you will enjoy fulfilling, rewarding careers post-university life. I am both humbled and honoured in equal measure to accept this Honorary Fellowship today, and in receiving this accolade from my university, I reflect on how far equality has progressed for disabled people. Sorry, slight technical hitch. For disabled people in the fields of education, business and service provision since my university days. The start of my own educational journey was not an auspicious one. School was a special ed school in the Cardiff area, where I confess that my greatest achievement was to become the annual Sports Day donut eating competition champion. Members of my family would probably say that I can still hold my own on this donut eating front, but I shall reserve my right to exercise the Fifth Amendment in that respect. I was born disabled as a result of the drug thalidomide, and back in the 1960s, disabled people did not even have a right to an education. Old, inaccessible buildings, inaccessible curriculum, and negative attitudes were the main reasons why education for disabled people was a low priority. For many years, there has been discrimination towards disabled people, and I too have experienced my fair share. So whenever I doubted my own abilities, my mother would say, "There is no such word as can't." And my maternal grandmother would say, "You are the way you are for a reason. You were put on this earth to make a change, and don't let anyone stop you from doing what you want to do." Fortunately, when the Chronically Sick and Disabled Persons Act 1970 was passed, the right to an education became one of a number of rights which ultimately paved the way for our current disability discrimination legislation. This new right allowed me to sit and pass the 11+ examination, which determined whether your education took an academic or a vocational path. Having been successfully categorised as academic, the next problem was the inaccessibility of the local secondary schools. So, when I eventually turned 14, the forward-thinking and with a fair bit of string-pulling by my then head teacher, arrangements were made for me to attend Treloar College for Disabled Students in Alton in Hampshire. This school was the only school in the United Kingdom of its kind at that time that provided a full-on academic education for disabled pupils. With a lot of hard work, and in just over 3 years, I reached the same standard as my non-disabled peers. But that was just the first step on an academic road that would lead me to today. As a people person, I have often observed the behaviour, personalities and traits of others, and it seemed therefore an obvious choice that I should study a degree in psychology. Anyway, I had my many concerns and fears about university life. However, the two strong role models in my life that I mentioned earlier, my wonderful mum and maternal grandmother, encouraged me to reach for the stars, but settle for the universe. It was and still is a guiding principle on which I base all of my work. Undergraduate life, as you now know, started in 1982 and ended with a graduation ceremony like yours today in 1985. For me and the university, it was a watershed moment. For the university, I was the first student with an existing impairment to actually start and finish a degree course. And for me, it was recognition that all of my studying had finally paid off. Working life post-graduation has been varied, but at times also felt almost unattainable. Initially, because there was no anti-discrimination legislation, and after submitting hundreds of job applications without success, I got to the stage where I offered to work unpaid for 1 month just to prove that I could work as efficiently and effectively as any non-disabled employee. Eventually, I started my career as an executive officer in the civil service, in a post which had very limited relevance to a psychology degree, before I moved into the field of promoting and advocating disability equality. In 1995, I established the RMS Disability Issues Consultancy, and in the ensuing 22 years, the work of the consultancy has been sought after, respected, and valued by public and private bodies alike, nationally and internationally. Not bad for a donut-eating champion from South Wales. For this reason, I am incredibly proud to be able to join an elite group of Honorary Fellows who, through their diverse fields, whether in public life, corporate excellence, groundbreaking research or sporting prowess, stand as ambassadors for the university. In this connection, I am reminded of a quote from Nelson Mandela, one of the greatest humanitarians of our era, who said, "What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived, it is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of life we lead." I have spent a lifetime campaigning for equality and rights, not just for myself, but mostly for others. And I would like to take this, I would like to think that I have made a positive and significant difference. However, we do not make such huge changes alone, and I would like to take this opportunity to publicly thank my wonderful family, who, without their love, encouragement and support, I would not be able to achieve all the things that I have so far. My thanks are also extended to the university for awarding me this prestigious award and honour, which ranks evenly with other awards I have been privileged to receive. For you, the graduates, whose day it really is, I leave you with this final thought. In striving to where you want to be, always remember where you have come from. Those you pass on the way, and wherever possible, provide support to those who need a little extra help. Seize your opportunities, welcome challenges, and value friends. But above all, be yourselves. Thank you. Diolch yn fawr.
Thank you, Rosie, as ever, amusing and inspiring at the same time.